Hey everyone, MeltyMan234 here with another Archie Sonic comic review. Today I'll be reviewing the original Sonic miniseries, but first a little history. When Archie Comics got permission to do a comic series based off of Sonic the Hedgehog, they created a free 6-page comic called Sonic the Hedgehog issue 1/4 and was released on November 24th, 1992. The number of this issue is a bit odd, but I think it was foreshadowing the upcoming miniseries. It contains part 1 of a story ending it at a cliffhanger, and some people think that this was the first Sonic comic. Well, it is the first Archie Sonic comic, but the very first Sonic comic goes back even further to 1991, when they made a 15-page promotional comic to the first Sonic game. However, since this comic has no connections to either Archie or Fleetway Sonic, it's just a standalone comic and doesn't count as being part of the Archie Sonic series. So when issue 1/4 was released, a few days later they released the complete story as part of their first miniseries, starting with issue 0, as we see Sonic leaping from the world of gaming into the pages of comics. In the first story, Don't Cry For Me, Mobius, we see Robotnik chasing after Sonic with a cannon of Mega Mug, but Sonic is then cornered by a Caterkiller as Robotnik fires a blast of his Mega Mug, but Sonic manages to dodge it with a Sonic Spin Jump. Robotnik swears that he'll pay for this as Sonic dashes off into the Great Forest and using the secret passage to enter Knothole Village, a place for free Mobians who stay safe from Robotnik's rampage. We are then introduced to some of the freedom fighters like Tails, who's Sonic's best friend, there's Boomer, or Rotor, who is more the mechanical genius, Antoine, who's a soldier, and Princess Sally Acorn, who runs the freedom fighters. Anyway, Antoine informs them that there has been leaks happening in Knothole, and fears that they could be flooded out or that Robotnik is trying to flush them out, and so the gang of freedom fighters head upstairs to see what's going on. They notice that the source of the leak is near Robotnik's factories, and Tails wants to check it out, but Antoine suggests that he should since Tails is a little young for that stuff, but he only ends up falling into a puddle of water. They later found out that the leaks are coming from the weeping willow trees, as Robotnik has been bulldozing a chunk of their trees in that section, trying to find Knothole, and the trees have been weeping for their fallen relatives, hence the phrase, weeping willow. But then Robotnik comes in with a buzz bomber and starts attacking the freedom fighters, but he quickly turns his attention to Sonic after being called chicken. I guess Robotnik hates poultry. As the chase begins, Sonic dashes over to a well where he hit a power ring. While Sonic is in hot waters, he remembers that rings rise and fall, and Robotnik is about ready to flatten him, but Sonic manages to get the ring just in time to send Robotnik's wrecking ball back at him. With his egg mobile destroyed, Robotnik grabs Buzz Bomber and retreats. Now that is a pretty strong Buzz Bomber carrying all that mountain of flab. So with Robotnik defeated, the freedom fighters have started planting new saplings from the forest to help calm down the weeping willows. Although I'm not sure if they're going to calm down now that Boomer's planted a sap in the forest. The next story in this issue is Oh No Robo, No More Mobo. That's a pretty weird title. I'm not sure what it's referencing, but it sounds like Mojo Jojo wrote the title for this story. Anyway, this story tells on how Sonic joined the Freedom Fighters, as they start off with Sonic helping his Uncle Chuck and Dog Mutsky with their chili dog stand, as they've just got a call for 200 chili dogs. So Sonic sends the delivery, but unbeknownst to them, Robotnik has invaded Mobius, renaming it Robotropolis, and has captured animals and started roboticizing them, and Chuck and Mutsky happen to be next in line. We then cut back to Sonic finding the place to deliver the chili dogs. As he waits for his payment, he then gets squashed by a giant checkered wrecking ball, but it turns out Sonic was able to dodge it. Sonic has a bad feeling about all this, and he quickly rushes back, only to find Uncle Chuck and Mutsky have disappeared and the chili dog stand is being dismantled. Sonic then destroys the SWAT bots with his sonic speed and notices that the robots were from the same place he delivered the chili dogs. So Sonic rushes back there, and along the way he bumps into a chipmunk named Princess Sally Acorn, who has come to find her father who was captured by Robotnik. And so the two Mobians decide to stick together as they finally find Robotnik, who has gathered some roboticized Mobians for their orientation. Although it is pretty weird, they say they've been turned into robots, but they look like ordinary Mobians just hypnotized. Not sure what's up with that. Sonic cries out for his uncle, which makes Robotnik notice them and sends his SWAT bots to arrest them, while Sonic starts using his speed to go around in circles, creating a tornado, sending the SWAT bots flying everywhere. I hope none of the prisoners were caught in that mess, or else Sonic would have killed his own uncle. And so Sonic decides to retreat, hoping to save his uncle and Mutsky one day. Sally tells Sonic to head for the Great Forest, where she has gathered people who are planning to defeat Robotnik and save Mobius. And so Sonic agrees to join, and that is how Sonic became a member of the Freedom Fighters. Well, the original miniseries, anyway. So now let's move on to issue 1 of the miniseries, with the first story known as Run Sally Run. We see Sonic and Tails having some fun as Sonic notices that Sally is leaving the Great Forest and asks her what's up, but Sally replies that it's none of his business and storms off. Sonic has a suspicion that Antoine has something to do with it, and so the two head back to Knothole, but they run into Antoine along the way. What a coincidence. Antoine shows Sonic a proclamation from Sally that she will be meeting with Robotnik to negotiate her father's freedom, and no one must interfere. Ignoring this, the trio finds Sally, who is with a buzz bomber. Sonic leaps into action, but Sally stops him and explains that the buzz bomber is taking Sally to Robotnik so that they can talk about freeing her father. While Sally heads off to Robotropolis, Sonic and the others are trapped behind a set of bars, even though it looks like they can just slip out of them. Anyway, the buzz bomber drops Sally in one of the chimneys where Robotnik is waiting, and orders his SWAT boss to take Sally to the roboticizer. Well, that's Robotnik for you. Never trust to deal with this guy. But then Sonic breaks into Robotropolis. Guess he was able to slip through the bars after all, or he just uses Sonic Spin to cut them through. Robotnik reaches for his atomic ray gun to blast him, but it's been stolen by Antoine, and he and Tails arrive to help out. Sonic performs another Sonic Spin, destroying the Robo Machine, and the team head back to Knothole to celebrate. But Sally is not thankful for letting them save her, as she wanted to be placed in the Robo Machine, as Boomer explains that Sally's boots contain hidden cameras and jamming sensors, so that they can analyze the machine so that they can reverse its effects to save all the people who were roboticized, and they just had to ruin her chances of using them. Well, so much for that. But if Sally knew what she was doing, then why was she screaming for Sonic near the end of part 1 of the story? Maybe it was to set the mood, I don't know, it just seems weird. In the next story, Something Fishy, Sonic is out fishing and catches a big fish, but then the fish starts eating his fishing pole and the dock. Sonic notices that the fish is Jaws, one of Robotnik's badniks, as he remembers that one of Robotnik's pipe-polluted drains are nearby the docks. But suddenly, the badnik has destroyed the dock, sending Sonic into the water and chases after Jaws. But then a trap is sprung, trapping Sonic in a net, and drags into a waterproof robo-machine, along with other sea creatures that were captured. Meanwhile, Tails and Boomer are heading for the docks, where Sonic is waiting, but they find out the dock is gone, and along with Sonic. Within 2 shakes of a sea lion's tail, and I'm not joking here, Boomer brings out a submarine called the Bathysphere. Okay, that name sounds pretty lousy. I'm just gonna call it the submarine. During the time, Sonic is next in line for being roboticized, but manages to escape the net with a Sonic Spin. However, this drains out all of his air, leaving Sonic to drown and giving Jaws the upper hand. But in comes Boomer's submarine and fires a torpedo at him. This also created a trail of bubbles, and Sonic manages to grab him to save his life from drowning. Now that he's up and running, he destroys the waterproof robo-machine, Jaws retreats back to Robotnik, and the day is saved once again. Well, we've gotten through those 2 issues out of the way. Check in for part 2, and we'll be looking at issues 2 and 3 and the conclusion of the original Sonic miniseries.